My name is Tony Dell. I was a national serviceman in 1966 to 1968, and I served in Vietnam in 1967-68 with 2RAR. During that time, 2RAR was heavily involved in the Tet Offensive in early 1968. As a result of my service, I contracted PTSD, but I went undiagnosed for 40 years. In 1970, I was picked to play cricket for Queensland in the Sheffield Shield competition. And just a few months later, I was selected to play for Australia against England when Sir Donald Bradman was chairman of selectors. This was Ian Chappell's first Test match as captain. My opening bowling partner was Dennis Lillee. After 4 seasons, it appeared that my undiagnosed PTSD was taking hold, and I told the selectors that I didn't want to play anymore. That was the end of Test cricket, but I was persuaded to play one more season of Shield cricket with Jeff Thompson as my opening partner. From 1970 to 1990, my life was an incredible roller coaster of very high highs and lots of lows. My PTSD, and more accurately the resultant workaholic aspect and my intense focus, accounted for the highs, while the other symptoms were responsible for the lows and brought me undone. I was fired from 2 jobs, even though I was the director and the principal revenue earner in both cases. In 1990, my next business went bust due to an innate trust in my largest client, who turned out to be quite dodgy. Blind loyalty seems to be another symptom. I lost everything I owned: my business premises, my house, and my Jag. Eventually my marriage broke down and I lost my family and my 3 kids too. How I got through the 90s, I don't really know. Much of it is a blur. I ended up living by myself in my mum's garage in Caloundra with debts of around $80,000. Half of that was in a massive pile of unopened letters from the ATO, which contained an accumulation of fines. That's another PTS thing. If you don't open them, they're not there. How I got back on my feet is far too long a story for here. But suffice to say, defence cricket is the main reason for my diagnosis and my journey since 2007. I was diagnosed in 2008, and the resultant gold card gave me 2 new knees and a brand new purpose in life. Stand Tall for PTS was born as I lay in hospital after my second new knee in January 2010. I have a pension. I have spare time. I'm starting to connect with my children again. My main worries are over. What can I do? I know there's thousands of other Vietnam veterans out there with no idea why their lives have turned to crap. Maybe I can help them. With the assistance of my psychiatrist and a friendly accountant who talked to the ATO, the Australian Cricketers Hardship Fund, and the Kerry Packer Foundation, I became solvent again, and I was able to incorporate Stand Tall for PTS. We had a very slow start, during which I was joined by Sir Angus Houston as my patron, and I talked many famous people into becoming supporters and ambassadors. I had to spend about $70,000 of my pension money to stay afloat in the first few years. Angus encouraged me not to be embarrassed to talk about myself and to use my unique story to get my message across. I'm now the only living person left in the world who has fought in a theatre of war and played Test cricket. So the last 4 years has seen Stand Tall become arguably the leading promoter of PTS awareness and collaboration in Australia. And we reach out globally as well. In those 4 years, as just a two-person, totally volunteer not-for-profit entity, we have staged 2 major international PTS conferences at the BCEC in Brisbane and 2 massive awareness events. These have been road convoys of military and first responder vehicles and personnel travelling thousands of kilometres throughout southeastern Australia, spreading the word. We have talked to veterans of all persuasions and conducted about 100 media interviews along the way. We have most likely got our message out to tens of millions on social and mainstream media. But despite the sparse grey hair and 2 dicky knees, soon to be joined by a brand new shoulder, we're not finished. We know from the emails and phone calls that we receive and the handshakes when we're on the road that we are truly making a difference. As part of our 2015 conference, we produced a 10-minute video with John Schumann talking about PTSD and singing I Was Only 19 with the Army Band Brisbane. Recently that was rediscovered and posted on social media. It has received well in excess of 1 million views. That has made an impact. Just recently, I went to see the movie Danger Close, which is all about the Battle of Long Tan in 1966. I watched with interest those battle scenes and the incredible resilience and bravery of Delta Company against massive odds. And then when the battle was over, I saw the faces of those who were still alive, to the strains of John Schumann singing I Was Only 19. And I know that their lives would never ever be the same. I was assured then that this is exactly why I do what I do. We have a massive year in front of us, with some major events planned and a groundbreaking international forum in August of 2020. We have to keep on keeping on. This video will now end with a Stand Tall song. It is something I'm proud of. It says it all.
There's a song that says it's a wonderful world, but the sights I have seen would make your hair curl. So I keep to myself, can't share or confide, don't wanna seem weak, 'cause I got my pride. People around me just don't understand, think life should be simple and go to a plan. But the order of things is often destroyed when the forces of evil or fate are employed. I've seen it all, heading my back to the wall. Seen more wrong than right, heard screams in the night. I still see my mates fall, and the battleground now. To move on from hell, but how? To rise, not to fall, to walk, not to crawl. Rise above destiny's call. Rise, stand tall. The grinding of teeth is all that I hear through the dark of the night. The depression, the fear, anger and rage, heartache and grief. Back on the bottle get some relief. The sound of a chopper whirring above. When you're frozen in terror, it's hard to show love. The flashbacks that take me back, am I still there? Does anyone know? Does anyone care? I've seen it all, heading my back to the wall. Heard screams in the night, still see my mates fall. above destiny's call. Rise, stand tall. Kids run for cover and hide. No way of knowing what goes on in my mind. Gotta get back to the top of the hill. I think I can do it, I can and I will. I've seen it all, had my back to the wall. Seen more wrong than right, heard screams in the night. I still see my mates fall in the battleground now. Oh, to move on, hell, how? Rise not to fall, walk not to crawl. Rise above destiny's call. Rise, stand tall. Oh, to rise not to fall, walk not to crawl. Rise above destiny's call. Rise, stand tall.